Hi YouTube, my name is Heather and I love anti-emblem content here on YouTube. Today I'm really excited for us to listen to about 5 minutes of a Beachbody team call where a guest speaker is telling another team about her income progression. This video was from just a few days ago, I think, so this income progression is now 3 years old, but she's going to tell us about how she grew her business and the kind of income growth she saw. This individual, I'm pretty sure they said she's 7-star diamond in her first Coach Business Center, 4-star in her second, and 1 or 2-star in her third. That just means that once a coach gets to 2-star diamond, they have the option of opening up a second Coach Business Center or CBC. And once that business center gets to 2-star, they can open up another one. And that can go on until a coach has 25 Coach Business Centers. So I'm excited to get started and let me know what you think below.
This is very old. Look at this, 2019 is the last update I have here. But I wanted to kind of share the progression here because I started off, I don't know how many of you work in education, but like you take a lot of your work home. It's a full-time job. And then, like I said, I had my little baby and I worked about 6 to 8 hours a day on the business. And that's what, this is probably, gosh, I think I'd been a coach for 3 months or something, but
So she was a coach for 3 months in 2014, and she made over $2,000 in that month working full-time, and she had a baby, a 1-year-old baby, and she worked 6 to 8 hours a day on her business. When you're recruited into Beachbody, your coaches will tell you that you don't have to work that much and you can grow your business. She made a very reasonable amount of money in like her third or fourth month as a coach here while working 6 to 8 hours a day, right, on her business and then working full time and having a 1-year-old baby. And that amount you could, depending on where you are, you could live reasonably on that amount if that was your only income. Where I am in Western Canada, it would be a bit more tight, but it just goes to show that you can't make a reasonable wage as a newer coach unless you work all the time and working in every, as I like to say, nook and cranny of your day to get a reasonable wage that you can reasonably live off of, depending on where you are.
Was manic about it. Like I was like, I need to grow this because I was not happy in my position at work. So the next year
She just said she was manic about it, so she probably didn't have any free time between working, taking care of her baby, and working on her business. She probably didn't have any self-care or time off to just watch Netflix or hang out with her friends because, as she said, she was unhappy in her job and wanted to work this job full-time.
I was able to retire and come home and take care of Cooper full-time while I worked my business. But then you can see here where in 2016, I had some personal stuff.
So after like a little over a year approximately, she was able to stay home full time. I feel like that would have been a good spot for the income disclosure statement. I don't know it off by heart, but it's like Beachbody does not guarantee a certain level of success or income. A coach's success is based on their hard work, skill, and diligence. She should have said that there because I feel like coaches looking at this are going to say, oh, well, in like a year and a half, look at her income growth. I can do that too. But they're not going to think about the fact in like 2014, 2015, it was easier to be a Beachbody coach because there were less coaches, the market was less saturated, and less people knew about the harms of multi-level marketing companies, and content like Deanna Mims or Roberta Blevins was not popular then, and people did not know as much as they do now. And then also social media wasn't as much of a thing then too, because now, sure, we've all had messages from MLM people from a variety of different companies all over social media asking to buy their product or join their team. And people are frustrated now. People are on the lookout for those kinds of messages. So now a year and a half, say you just joined, in a year and a half, you're not going to have this kind of income growth because of all of the different things I just said and the different events and things that have changed in society around multi-level marketing now. Sorry, that was a little rambly.
I went through a divorce, which ended up being the best thing. And I became a single mom, and I moved from, at the time I was in Nevada, and I moved back home to Oregon. I'm a Northwest girl. So it was a lot. And thank God I had, like, you can sometimes take your foot off the gas in this business. And if you have a team that is there for you, like, it's okay. I don't think I worked for 2 months and my income did not change.
I appreciate that she said sometimes you have to take your foot off the gas. I thought that this statement was going to go to, look, I got divorced, I was a single mom, and I moved, and I still had like a big growth in my income, and you can see it's still like a little bit of a growth, but not much. And I appreciate that she didn't just say, oh, I worked through it and I had a good mindset and I still succeeded, blah, blah, blah. But she just said that when you have a team, you can take the foot off the gas and your income isn't going to change. So if the people watching think that they can just not work and still make the same amount of money, that's not going to be possible unless they have a massive team underneath them. And remember, this woman is 7-star diamond in her first coach business center. So she said she doesn't have a big team in a different part of the video, but she has to have a big team to have 7 diamonds underneath her and to hold that kind of rank. And just shows that if you have a big team beneath you, you don't really need to work. As long as your coaches are working, you don't need to, and you're still going to make lots of money. And she said that does not include quarterly bonuses. We talked about that in the How Do Beachbody Coaches Make Money, where quarterly bonuses, it's for coaches at the 2-star, 5-star, 10-star, and 15-star levels. I wish she had told us what rank she was at here, like for these different years, because then we could have seen, say, like if she was at 2-star in 2015, we would know like July 2015, we'd know like might be like $800 to $1,200 more that month, depending if she got one of her bonuses in that month. And so I wish she had said which rank she was at, so we could see like the actual income estimate. But that's okay. So remember, this does not include the quarterly bonuses, which she was at 7-star diamond, she would be eligible for the 2-star and the 5-star bonus. So that's a lot of money. If you add them both together, that's a significant amount added on to these numbers. Again, rambly, sorry.
Which was amazing. And then look at this, July 2017, I really struggled with my self-worth. I fell into this kind of, I don't know, this weird mental space where I started doubting my ability to grow this business, I started looking at other coaches and thinking, well, they dance, I can't dance. And they have like really good editing skills. I mean, you guys see my Canva here. I don't have good editing skills to make fancy, or my present, like tech stuff is not my forte. So I started like pushing myself down, and it showed up in my income because
I do appreciate her honesty here and how she was struggling internally, and it did make a difference in her income. But you can see at the very end, I don't know if you can read it, but she said, honestly, I struggled with my self-worth. I was so fortunate that as a single mom, I could focus on Cooper, in brackets, worked maybe 1 to 2 hours a day. So this shows that she's working only 1 or 2 hours a day, which coaches like to say you can make a significant income and only work that much. And obviously over $6,000 in 1 month is amazing. Most people would never make that kind of money, but it just shows that she went down to 1 or 2 hours a day and her income dropped significantly from the year prior in that same month. Now, all of these amounts are amazing, but I think it just shows that to make big income like people want to, you can't work 1 to 2 hours a day. You, as she said at the beginning, you need to be manic and work constantly to get to like the $2,000 a month level, and then to work from there. To grow a big team underneath you, you do need to work a lot until you get to the higher levels where, like her, if you have a traumatic event occur in your personal life, you can take a step back and you don't need to work much. However, her downline doesn't have that privilege because they don't have 7 diamonds underneath them. Of course, they might have 1 or 2 diamonds underneath them, and then she's going to have a lot of coaches who are at the emerald or coach rank because they can't grow their teams. Because I said this like 6 million times on this channel, At least 80% of distributors have to be at the bottom losing money for, at minimum, 20% of distributors at the top making money.
All of a sudden, I was being a Debbie Downer and just kind of low energy. Just, it was awful. But personal development, I went to Tony Robbins.
You're not a Debbie Downer. You went through a divorce and a big adjustment in your life, and you're learning how to be on your own, maybe for the first time in your entire adult life. Not a Debbie Downer. You're just a human who's struggling.
Conference, come help me, Tony. And everything changed. And so the next year, I had to work on myself before I could work on.
I hate Tony Robbins. She said she went to Tony Robbins and he helped her. And she's making a good amount of money even when she was struggling, but those conferences could be like $10,000 just for like 2 days. And in my opinion, they're extremely culty, and you could find lots of videos critiquing those conferences all over YouTube if you're interested in that.
For my business. And I started coming back with passion again. And then obviously this is 3.5 years ago. So things have definitely moved on from this, but I just show this because you're going to have a roller coaster in coaching because it's so personally tied to you. And
so in July 2019, she made over $11,000 in 1 month. So like 3.5-ish years ago, she was like over 6 figures, and that's a lot. That's a lot of money. And the poor women who are watching this person, they're not going to make the same amount of money, but the coaches like to bring coaches like this to show, look what's possible, look at the income potential, not at like the probability of you actually reaching that level. Just look at what's possible and don't think about the probability and the chances of you actually finding this level of success.
And we all go through ups and downs in our personal lives, right? And sometimes it's hard to keep those separate, but this is an income snap. I just want to show you. So retail commission.
This is in the Beachbody back office, and you'll see it was in 2014. I wish we knew what rank she was at here, but we don't. I'll just let her talk for a second.
When I first started off was the biggest number in my income, right? And then team bonus, I think I cycled twice. I don't know. I got $28. And that's like, this was.
So she made $279.87 in retail commission, $28 in her team bonus, $0 in her matching bonus. If you remember, the How to Beachbody coaches make money. Team bonus, that's when you cycle. So your weak leg gets 200 PV points. Your strong leg gets 200. Your weak leg gets 100. And you get a certain amount each time. So I'm assuming she's not at diamond, because please correct me if I'm wrong. I think the diamond cycle is $18 a cycle, and diamond and below diamond is $14. And she said she cycled twice. So I'm guessing she was an emerald or a ruby here. But coaches always like to say, when you're a newer coach, the majority of your income is going to be commission. And then once you start building a team, your income is going to come from the team bonus and the matching bonus, which are, as we know, recruitment-based bonuses, which you cannot get if you don't recruit big teams. Well, not big teams. You're not going to get big team cycle bonuses without a big team beneath you, if that makes sense. Let me know if you have questions. I know this is more of a technical conversation, and it might not be the most exciting thing to talk about, but I think it's important for us to look at this part as well.
It was great. I was stoked about this, but it was me working really, really, really hard to get my train just moving 2 feet.
At that point, that would have been when she was working like 6 to 8 hours a week, or a day, sorry. So she was working full time, and she made like approximately $300 in a week working full time. I have no idea the hourly wage that would have been to get that amount of money. It's not a lot. Like, her time is valuable, and I think people in MLM companies should be fairly compensated for their time at least the minimum wage of whatever state or province they're in. But we know MLM companies are never going to pay their distributors minimum wage, which I'm not sure how they get away with it. I'm not sure how it's legal, but.
And then you can see the date here at the top. This is 2018, so 4 years ago, whatever. But I just show this to tell you guys, like network marketing is really, if you're income motivated, it's really about building a team culture. You don't have to have a big team.
A team culture. Not a team culture. We'll let her talk in a second, but retail commission, this is like 4 years into her business in 1 week. Okay, so $162.45. Her team bonus over $2,000. Her matching bonus, which remember it's another recruitment based bonus, $303 for a total of $2,751.45. So out of that amount of money, only $162 was based on sales and the rest is on recruiting. I love how when coaches do this, they're literally showing us how their pyramid scheme, because according to the Federal Trade Commission, in an MLM company, it is legitimate and not a pyramid scheme if you can make a reasonable wage off of retail and sales, and you shouldn't have to build a team to make a good income. And this literally shows us that vast majority of her income as she was building a team 4 years into her business, it's all recruitment based and barely sales.
I don't have a huge team.
Yes, you do, because you have 7 diamonds, and then you have to have a certain number of active coaches of any level. So you do have a big team. You do.
I have a team of really awesome, happy, like helper people. I have a lot of, I think that teachers and people in education and people in the medical field, like nurses and doctors, they like coaching because they want to help people. And so I have a team of a lot of those personalities. And yeah, and you can see here at the bottom, it shows the benefit of having a second. I had my brother's CBC because I was doing the single mom life. So was my brother.
Do you remember in past videos they tell you when you want to get to emeralds, you have to sign up like your spouse and your mom or your spouse and your best friend? So she was divorced, so she signed up her brother instead, and she put him right underneath her, I'm assuming, so then she can collect all of the volume and all the income from his account. And most likely he is not working that account and it's all her. So she's making $800 more per week just from that. And it's interesting that she's building her brother's account more than her second CBC. You think that she would want to build her second account more because that account is based on like her and it has her name attached to it, not her brother's. So I would think it would be like $800 a week in her second CBC and only $200 in her brother's. If you're in Beachbody, let me know like what the benefit is of building like your brother's or your spouse's account more than your second business center. I think that seems weird, but I might just be overthinking it a little bit. Let me know what you think.
And then my second CBC doing $200 a week. So you can create multiple streams of income within your own downline. Do you guys have any questions about this? Like, I'm an open book, so if you have any questions, just let me know.
So that's all I have. I just wanted us to talk about the income portion. Sorry if it was a little boring or technical. I find this part of MLM companies so interesting, and for me it's fun to talk about because it's great to talk about manipulation and the recruitment tactics, but also like how do they make money? How much money do they make? And that stuff's important to talk about too. So that's all I have, and I hope you enjoyed it and found some value. And if you liked it, you can leave a like or let me know in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye.